This behind me used to be headquarters of the NKVD. Now it also used to have a very nice cross somewhere around this area, but then the radical feminists of Femen came in and cut it down. Now the locals have erected another monument somewhere very close from where I am. I'll show you that one too. But basically this is where we start our second part of our series of exploring Kyiv. So let's stop wasting time and let's begin the second part of the series.
Out in static now, and your way with words has married down with the slaughterhouse. We all go in for a gather, then we turn around. We know business during death, we know it's better to forget and let the wheel go round. It all comes out in static now. I see the way down. So we pave these floors with the bones of those we let down. Place your bets on denial, you might win the title, don't frown.
We are still in Kyiv, the glorious Ukrainian capital that mirrors the rest of the country. A country at odds with most of its past as an oppressed nation, and a country in which wherever you want to go, there's a long train ride till there. So the first stop in this episode is the Ukrainian National Chernobyl Museum, or the Ukraiński Nationalny Muzej Chernobyl, located very close to the Kontraktowa Square metro station. The museum is located in a building that served as a fire brigade until 1992, when the post-Soviet administration donated the building for the purpose of housing this museum. Unlike other museums in Kyiv, or Ukraine in general, this one is very tourist-friendly, with audio guides available in Ukrainian, Russian, English, German, Romanian, French and Italian, and also, unlike many other museums in Ukraine, videotaping policies are very relaxed, except for the fact that they don't allow the use of a tripod, which is a bit unfortunate, but hey, better than the UNESCO site where they didn't allow any videotaping at all. What is impressive with this museum is that it is not just about what happened at the Chernobyl power plant, but also about giving the visitor a full and comprehensive image about how the society worked in April 1986 and the following days and months after the disaster. Basically, if you have the patience to spend the 3 to 4 hours necessary and listen to all the audio guide files, you will get the most thorough image one can get about how this disaster was possible, what went wrong, how and why did the authorities act the way they did, how did the rest of the world find out about it, and why information flew the way it did, and also what are the long-term consequences of this event. Another aspect that is laudable in this museum is the way the artifacts are set up to allow even individuals who've never heard about Chernobyl before to get a clear understanding of the situation. Alright, I think it's time for something slightly happier. Now the trouble is that there aren't too many happy things in Kyiv that are also open for filming, and those that do exist are very far from the city center. Anyway, so the next stop is at the Kyiv Okeanarium on the far east of the city, 9 metro stations away from this museum at the Darnitsia metro station. It took me almost 1 hour to get here, including the walking from the station till the entrance. Now, in theory, videotaping inside is not permitted, but unlike other places, the staff didn't seem to care that much. However, I'll leave out most of the footage because supporting such a place is highly expensive, so it would be preferable that you just come here if you're in Kyiv. Now, one of the last stops before I took the train towards Chernivtsi is the Babi Yar Ravine, in the far west of Kyiv, close to the Dorohozhichi metro station. Not far from this place there used to be the Siretsk Nazi concentration camp, though where the concentration camp used to be now there is a neighborhood called Siretsk. That's because after the massacres, roughly 300 prisoners from the camp were forced to work tirelessly to cover all the traces of mass murder ever occurring here at Babi Yar. After they were done with doing that, they were also shot in the head and thrown into the common grave located just behind this monument. Now, there are 3 monuments in this huge park dedicated to the Babi Yar mass murders, but I was unable to find the 3rd one, which was built by the Soviet authorities, and the maps say it's also somewhere in this park. Now, I gave up after 2 hours of walking. Between September 29, 1941 and November 6, 1943, at least 120,000 people were killed in this area and their bodies dumped into the ravine. In 2006, various organizations started a project to at least identify all the victims buried here, but so far, 10 years into the project, less than 15% of the victims have been identified, and most of the victims will probably never be named, since a significant chunk of those killed and dumped into the ravine were children and gypsies, 2 population groups that were at the least likely to have had documents or post-war living relatives. Alright, this was basically what I could cover in a few short days in this huge city. Just like in other capital cities, most of the time one spends here is spent on transport. Every day in Kyiv meant at least 3 hours in the metro commuting from one landmark to another. In many regards, I do regret not having more time at my disposal for this city, but then again, this tour has messed up the schedule on this channel quite a lot already, so maybe it was better that way. The next day I made my way to the railway station and embarked on an 11-hour trip to Chernivtsi. Now, since I already did show you that city on a previous trip, I'll only focus on a particular aspect of the city's history in this series, the Bukovinian Jews, and in particular the Chernivtsi Jewry. I'm sure you'll like it. But until then, keep calm and Slava Ukraini!
la 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 la